Hello, welcome back to another video. If you're new to me, my name is Vienna Ortiz, and if you've just stumbled upon my YouTube channel, I have been doing this for so long, off and on, I think like 7 years. And I talk a lot about planning and organization, and I talk a lot about life goals, organization, and just things like that. So if you're interested in that, that's what I'm here to talk about today, because today I am actually going to talk about the planners that I want to stick to and the planners that I'm going to use in 2023. So I have 3 planners that I want to share with you, and I'll get into that in a second. I am currently about 6 months pregnant right now. So if I'm out of breath, I am so sorry. I am like hitting like the very end of the stride here, and so I can be pretty tired. But I have 3 planners that I want to share with you, and this will be interesting because if you have been following me for a while, you're going to be shocked at one of the planners that I'm going to show you, I'm pretty sure. But I wanted to kind of share with you what I am using, as well as like why I chose it, because I know one of the main things with choosing a planner is kind of like why, why are you choosing that planner? What's the reason why you're deciding to use that planner? And that's what I want to share today. So the other thing is I also have a full mouth of braces. So it's very difficult for me to talk apparently on all fronts at the moment, because I don't know. I'm still not used to the braces. So that's going to be interesting as well. The first thing I kind of wanted to touch on was the main planner that I'm kind of using for the year. And this planner is going to be for like all of my appointments. It's also kind of like a fun planner for me because I very much miss just kind of like having fun in a planner versus like having, I don't know. I want to have more fun in my planner again. And if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. But this is a planner that I had years ago when I was first getting married to my husband, and that was in 2014. And I have not used this brand, nor have I had a planner like this since. So that is the Erin Condren planner. Now, again, if you know me and you've been watching me for a while, you're like, what? Aren't you a rings girl? And yes, I love rings. When I look at pictures of rings, I'm like, what am I doing? I want to be back in rings. But honestly, with the rings, there is a little bit more of an upkeep. And when I tell people, what planner are you going to choose? I say, hey, do you want to have something that's kind of just like all ready for you in a book? All the dates are there. You don't need to add or take anything out. Or do you want to like customize it yourself and print things out and go looking for little things to add to your planner? That's a spiral bound, which is actually something that I prefer. But I had to take a step back and say, okay, Vienna, what do you want to use this year that's going to keep you organized, have a little fun with, so it's not, too much pressure, but also make sure that you're getting things done. And that was the Erin Condren planner. So this is a 7x9 January to December planner, so it's a full year. It's a vertical layout. So yeah, it's just very simple. If you don't know who Erin Condren is, Erin Condren planners, I should say, then they have a website and they have a tons of other things. Like if this is the first time that you've ever seen a planner before. But if not, the choice to use this planner is interesting because I didn't know that I was going to ever go back to this brand, but there's just something tried and true about the covers and being able to change it out throughout the year, and then just having one book you can just open up and leave out if you need to. So that's the first planner. All of that being said, I am still somebody who truly needs to have lists. Like I love lists, and I need a place to write down like my day in detail. I need a place to write down notes and just kind of like just lists. And so with that, I'm going to be adding in a bullet journal style notebook. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is an actual bullet journal notebook. So it's made for bullet journaling. And honestly, the only thing that really differentiates this from like any other notebook are like there's 3 bookmarks. It kind of has all the numbers pages, pages numbered. It has all the pages numbered, so that you don't have to do that yourself. And I'm somebody who, when I'm using a bullet journal, I like to know in my index what I have in there. It also kind of just comes kind of like equipped with an index page and a key page. And so there are some really cool things about this that I like. And do I think it's going to last me the whole year? Probably. It just depends what I put in here. But this is going to be where I jot things down in more detail, because in my ring planner, I would have a note section and I would use that constantly. And so not having that flexibility of just kind of having something that you can open and jot down notes without it being overwhelming in a spiral bound. I mean, I don't want to waste the pages on just random notes because there's not a whole lot of note pages in there. This is something that is going to go kind of hand in hand together, and I'm hoping that works out for this year. Now, the last planner that I am using is a budget planner. Me and my husband have a goal for the end of the year into the beginning of next year. And so we want to save and save and save if we can and budget. And to be honest, you guys, I am not very good at budgeting. I am not very good at money, but it's something that I want to learn and something that I need to learn. And so I've searched and searched for a budget planner that I thought might fit me. And I came across the Clever Fox Financial Planner. And if I put this to good use, if I use this in the way that I'm thinking I'm going to use this, it's going to work out great, because it has just everything that I need to be able to budget on a month-to-month basis as well as a year basis. And so having something separate versus like just in my main planner, which is what I used to do, years ago, and even more recently when I tried to budget, having a separate planner is so much easier for me because I know that there's nothing else in here and I can just open it and do what I need to do. And so that is going to be the third planner that I'm going to use for the year. And so just a couple tips on when you're choosing your planner, and just to kind of like go over what I mentioned before as to why I chose the three that I chose, is kind of like looking at the kind of looking at where you are in life and kind of what this year is going to look like for you. Again, for me, I know that this year is still filled with plans and things to do. However, I know with my daughter, I didn't use my planner as much when she was just kind of like a newborn, because I didn't have a ton of day-to-day things that were different. However, this time around, with having a 5-year-old and a newborn, I will need a planner that's structured, but I don't want anything that's too complicated. So when you're thinking about what planner to get, I want you to think about, do you want something that you can just open and start using, or do you want something that you kind of want to customize and kind of like make your own? And when I'm in that part of life, I love that so much. I love kind of like printing out my own inserts and, adding all the dividers and changing out the dividers and changing out everything about my planner. But that's just not something that I'm going to be able to keep up with this year. So that's not what I'm going to use. When you're also choosing a planner, it's okay to have more than one. Like many people will say, why are you having more than one planner? But you can have as many as you want for as many different things, as long as it makes sense up here. So don't shy away from using different types of planners. And the last thing I want to mention is years before, or in all of the years before that I've been planning, I never really felt the need to have a planner in January and expect myself to use it throughout the year, because I knew that I was going to want something different in a couple months. However, I'm actually making it a priority and telling myself that I'm only going to use these 3 planners this year. Why? Well, for one, budget-wise, it just doesn't make sense to continue to buy different planners over and over again, especially if something's working, right? 2, I have the whole year in this spiral planner, and so I don't necessarily need anything else. If it's working, I'm going to continue to use it because it'll make my life easier. So that's something that's different this year, is I'm actually going to be using probably the same planner for the whole year. So that's wild. But that about wraps up the planners that I'm going to be using in 2023. And I would love to know in the comments, you know, what planners you're going to be using for 2023. And again, I'm just super excited to be doing another video for you. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was valuable, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.